Broker fees in New York City are going away this week. If you find a $2,000 a month apartment to move in, you have to pay the first month's rent, security deposit, and then a broker fee, which could even be 15% of annual rent, which means it could cost $7,600 upfront to move into a place this size, but that actually gets less light. But that's changing because the FAIR Act, which passed 42-8 in the City Council, requires that broker fees be paid by the hiring party. So a landlord can still hire a broker, but the landlord will have to pay them. But does this mean that rent is going to go up because the Real Estate Board of New York says that landlords are going to bake the added costs into monthly rent? The real estate lobby and landlords were against the FAIR Act. They spent hundreds of thousands of dollars to lobby our politicians to try to kill this bill because they want to retain the ability to use the service of a broker, but they don't want to have to pay for that service by and large. So they, the landlords, claim that they will pay the broker fee and in turn, they will just pass it on to the tenant in the form of higher rent. One landlord says, a one-bed he owns in Clinton Hill that previously rented for $3,200 is now going for $3,600, which is just over 11% of the annual rent. This is a direct result of this, just to cover the cost of the FAIR Act. But as Chiosei points out, rent is set by market forces, not landlords. If landlords could just choose any rent they want, it would be $1 million, and that's exactly right. You can list your one bedroom in Clinton Hill for $400 over market, but it might be harder to rent out. And from this Street Easy report, we do have an idea of what landlords are going to do when they're not allowed to charge a broker fee anymore. The average annual growth in asking rents of the properties that dropped a broker fee was 5.3% in April, slightly above the 4.6% growth for the rest of the market. So the caveat is that those numbers are based on landlords who voluntarily stopped charging a broker fee, as opposed to landlords who are going to be forced to stop next month. But if those numbers are predictive of what's to come, a new apartment that's going for $3,550 might instead just go for $3,600. The FAIR Act takes effect June 11th. Follow me for more stories like this.